very watery. That's like running down my fingers. This is going to be too dark for me. Really pretty lit from within finish. Hi guys, welcome to Emmarie Lane. My goal is to find you the best beauty products for the best prices. And today we're going to be doing a series that I have officially named Save or Splurge. I'm going to be testing out the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint versus the new Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator to see if you can save some huge money, because there's a big price difference between the two, or if maybe you should splurge on this. So let's find out. I'm going to be dividing my face in half. I'm going to do the Glossier on my right and the Wet n Wild on my left. I have more acne on my left side, and I really want to put the more affordable version to the test. I definitely do have some redness on my right side still, but this side's a little worse. So the Glossier I have in the shade G11. It's supposed to be a light neutral shade. Shake, then smooth over moisturized skin with fingertips. Oh, you're supposed to use your fingers. Okay. It is a very, very watery formula. Holy freaking cow. That's like running down my fingers. Woo! Oh, you know what? We should zoom in. There, now you can see better. I was so focused on the tint. I don't like blending things out with my fingers. I feel like it just doesn't work. So I'm gonna use my avocado sponge. Basically, what these two skin tints have in common are they're both like ultra light, your skin but better type situation. They're both smoothing. They don't have the exact same ingredients. The Glossier one has glycerin in it to kind of give that like glow from within effect, whereas the Wet n Wild one has hyaluronic acid. I like both of those ingredients. A lot of times they look similar by the time you get them on your skin, and they're both supposed to be for all skin types. So this girl who can get very oily in the T-zone, especially when it gets warmer outside, like it's starting to today. Okay, I like the glowiness. It's a really, really pretty lit from within finish without being shiny. I'm trying to get the redness right underneath my nose to like get covered, and I like really can't. So I'm gonna try to put a little bit more on there and just focus it right there, and maybe use my fingertips for this part. I don't like using my fingers. Maybe I'll go in with my little baby sponge. Okay, that's a little better. It did a good job covering up the redness on my cheeks. I don't know if you can see on this side. Like right here, especially on both sides, I can get a little bit more red than the rest of my cheek. It did a good job covering that up. I really like that. And once I got a little bit more and focused it on the area that I wanted the redness to be covered up, it did a good job. I also like how smoothing it is. Like it's not necessarily like, oh my goodness, my skin is like glass smooth, but it definitely did a good job where my pores are a little bit more intense right here to make them look less intense. They're not gone, but they're like better. You know, your skin but better. It's not picking up any texture. I have some texture like right here. I like this. We like this. Okay, so for the Wet n Wild, I stole my sister's. Because literally that is the day I decided to do this video. She came home with this before I had a chance to buy my own. I was like, can I just borrow this, please? Can I just like steal it for just a minute? She's like, yeah, sure. She got it in the shade light medium. I'm not exactly light medium. I wasn't paying attention to what shade she got. This is going to be too dark for me. I'm not going anywhere today, so I don't really care. Oh, this is dripping. Let's just acknowledge that I'm gonna look weird and move on. Okay, cool. So, woof. This is going everywhere. The Glossier one retails for $26 and this retails for $5 to $6. So you have like a $20 to $21 savings. That's a lot. Oh, dang, man. That is probably enough. It's definitely not as watery. It's light. It's not thick at all, but it's not like necessarily falling down my fingers because it's so watery. So let's use the flat side of the avocado. Look there, I'm trying to put self-tanner on. Well, we will know which side is which, won't we? Hopefully once I put on bronzer, this will all be good. Again, ignore the shade difference. The glow is so similar. Like that lit from within, natural, really pretty glow is like the same. Like fresh, healthy glow. I love this. It's doing, again, a really good job smoothing out my pores. As you can see, this little acne situation that's happening right here. So I'm gonna try to build it up a little bit there. Let's take a little bit. Where's my little guy? Where'd my little baby go? Here it is. Oh, there we go. So it looks like with both, you can build where you need, and it does a good job letting you do that, which is my favorite thing ever. Like, I love being able to just do a sheer, is coat the right word? I'm gonna say it is. And then go back and just touch up any spots that maybe I want a little bit more coverage on. Both feel like I just put moisturizer on. They both feel so good. It feels hydrating, but like, it doesn't feel like I caked oil on my face or anything like that. Like, it just feels like I got a really nice light light moisturizer and like slapped it all over my skin. I absolutely adore this. Minus, again, the shades. I'm not gonna be able to get over that I have 2 different shades on my face. I mean, obviously we don't know how both are gonna wear throughout the day. So far, I love this. I'm gonna put on the rest of my makeup. I'll be right back. Okay, finished my makeup. You can't tell quite as much of a difference that this is darker with the bronzer on. You still can, but if you don't know, maybe you wouldn't notice, but I know. So it's currently 12:21 and we're doing a 12-hour wear test. I'm not putting any powder on. I'm not putting any setting spray on. I'm gonna go about my day. I'll do a check-in halfway through the day in natural daylight so we can see how things are holding up and what it would look like in real life and not just like, you know, under my studio lights. And we're gonna see if I look like an oily mess by the end of the day on either side or maybe just one. Who knows? I love both of them so much. I love that this is only $5 or $6 so much. Anyway, I'm just excited. I'll see you in just a second. Okay, I'm trying to make sure like the sun doesn't come out from behind the fence so I'm not backlit. But it's the halfway point. It's about 6:20 right now and this is what we're looking like. Guys, okay, a couple things. One, as soon as I finished my makeup, I came upstairs and I was like, Mom, which side do you think is $26 and which side do you think is like $5 or $6? And she pointed to the Wet n Wild side and said, I think that's the $26 one. So she thought the Wet n Wild side looked more expensive, which is awesome. 2, I kept having to remind myself that I was like had face makeup on because I would forget because it just feels like I have nothing on my face at all. Okay, and now that we've covered that, I'm gonna get you in a little bit closer. Everything looks basically the same like it did this afternoon when I put it on. I say the only difference is the Glossier side is just a little bit uncomfortably shiny right here. Just the tiniest bit. Nothing I couldn't fix with powder. Right now, if it was bothering me, also I could put a mattifying primer underneath just to make sure I didn't get oily right there. Do it all the time. It's not a big deal. Things that you can do if you get oily like I do. Oh, there's the sun. If you get oily like I do to prevent it would be super easy and you probably already have that stuff. So far so good. It'll be interesting to see if the Wet n Wild holds up like it is right now and if the Glossier side gets any worse or if this is as oily as I'm going to get. So I will see you in a second. It is 12:29. It's been 12 hours. Ignore my hair. I didn't want to fix it. Okay, so let's start off with, for whatever reason, my bronzer did not vibe with either of these, and I used the Physicians Formula Matte Butter Bronzer, which normally works really well. So don't understand that. I liked the Glossier side a lot less than the Wet n Wild side, but you can see like right here, it's like got all patchy. It's just a bronzer though. I don't get it. Like my blush looks fine. I don't have any highlight on, but you know. So looking right here in this layer where my nose and like right next to my nose where I get the most oily, I am so much more oily on the Glossier side. And the redness is starting to come through a lot more on here and also right on my cheeks. And I feel like even the parts that I don't have bronzer, it just looks more patchy and not necessarily broken up, but it's just faded in certain areas. Whereas this side, you'd think this side would look more patchy because it's a darker shade, so there's more contrast, but that's not the case. This side still looks smoothed out on my nose where the Glossier side doesn't nearly as much. Now, something to bring up, if I used a mattifying primer, this would probably look a lot better because the oil is breaking up the tint. And if you do not have oily skin or it's dry, it probably would look a lot better for you at the end of the day. But I definitely wouldn't claim that this is for all skin types, where I could probably claim that a little bit more because I do have a little bit of dryness at the edge of my nose on both sides. Neither side stuck. That no clinging to patches in a weird way or anything like that. So overall, both of them are comfortable. Both like how they look, but I think this is better. This isn't even just a dupe. I think this is better than the Glossier one. Not dissing this, but like when you could spend like $5 or $6 on this, it's cruelty free, you know, all that same stuff that Glossier does, but it's so much cheaper. If you want to see a battle between the Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational Mascara versus the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara, it's a mouthful, you can click right here. I love you guys so much and don't ever forget that you are enough. Bye!